Hello you guys, and welcome to this long-awaited video. I thought this was the perfect time to do this little budgeting 101 session going into the new year so that you guys can, I would do this week before the new year hits if you have time. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys everything I know about budgeting, everything from establishing your savings goals and how I track that to calculating your fixed costs, planning your discretionary spending, showing you my complete budget template and just workflow that I use to track every single dollar that I spend. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you just a couple of other financial tools I use that are also spreadsheets. I've been keeping up with the budget for a little over a year now, and when I started, you learn so much just about your spending. It's so easy to just mindlessly spend when you're not accountable even just to yourself. So I hope that all of you guys get something out of this video. I am not an expert by any means. I'm not saying this is the best way to do this. I just highly encourage you guys to take what is useful to you from this video and of course make changes. Yeah, being informed about your own finances and spending within that is just a very powerful thing. So we're just gonna finally hop in. If you guys like this video, I would love if you would leave a comment below. So finally kicking this off with my spreadsheet, I'm gonna just be over here in the corner for a lot of this video. This template is going to be available at the link below. I can't figure out how to make it to where you can just download this and edit it. I use Google Sheets, but I'm gonna have it linked below, a read-only version of it. So you can just copy and paste all of this into your own sheet. There's just a few tabs here at the bottom, and hopefully that will just, get the job done. So walking you through my spreadsheet, I have 3 tabs here at the bottom. We're gonna be jumping back and forth between all of these. So first is our master investment tracking, our savings tracking, and then what is going to actually be our month-to-month budget page. So I just replicate this and create a new tab for every month, and then at the end of one month when I'm done, I just hide this template or hide the sheet. It goes without saying I'm using fake numbers for this. We are going with a gross monthly payroll of $6,000 before taxes just for my examples here. That is just the first number that came to mind, okay? Don't come for me about what about this is realistic or not. So the whole purpose of this master front page is to ultimately figure out how much money you have to go towards your monthly expenses. There are 2 types of expenses or spending here, which are your fixed costs and your discretionary costs. We're coming back to that later, but first you need to figure out how much money you have to allocate towards those things. I didn't correctly enter numbers on the spreadsheet in this example, just so I'm doing this voiceover, but from your gross monthly payroll, you're going to deduct any pre-tax or post-tax investments. Your net income is the amount actually being deposited into your account each month, so any post-tax investments would then need to be subtracted from that. This is the most complicated part to explain in this whole video, and I promise I'm almost done, but the last step here is to figure out how much you can set aside into savings each month. I have a few different categories of savings I prioritize, which I'm going to talk through next, but after you subtract those, you're finally left with your amount that can go towards monthly spending. So again, this number will be the sum of your fixed costs and discretionary spending. Again, that first page in the spreadsheet just helps you figure this out. What is the most important on this page, I think, is this savings category right here. Of course, the economy is crazy out here for so many people, so if you maybe don't even have the wiggle room to be saving in any categories, that is totally okay too. So I think, and what I really credit to being really prepared to spend on, for me, categories like a house down payment or our big trip that we went on a couple of summers ago, or even every year now I save throughout the year for my Christmas gifts savings fund, I guess. That way when I spend such a large amount of money in December, it was kind of paid for already throughout the year, which I'll explain how I track that and deduct that in a second. You're just gonna decide any categories that you want to save for. Maybe it's just a general emergency fund. I think that should honestly be your priority number 1. I just put 3 categories here and the amounts that maybe I would want to save towards these every month. So we're left with this amount right here, and then we're gonna come up with our fixed costs and be left with our discretionary. So first I wanna jump into tracking savings in these savings categories on this tab right here. At the beginning of each year, will put my starting balance of what is in each of these savings categories. And why I track this so meticulously is because all of these categories are really just in one bank account. I don't have a bank account for my Christmas savings, you know what I mean? But I still want to know of all the money sitting in this account, what belongs to what categories. So going into each year, I start with the balance that is in each of these categories. These amounts, you can see, I guess I neglected the emergency fund, but you can see all of these amounts here match these rows right here. So each month I will fill in those amounts I'm saving, and the sheet is programmed to just add all of that up here. So you can see at any given time how much you have in each of your savings categories. And then I treat all of these savings categories as almost separate from my budget. So when I go through all of this, let's say I spend money on flights and I want to take that out of my travel savings. I'll show you how I program this to where that's not going to come out of your monthly discretionary spending, but instead I create a little tab off to the side here and I fill in the amount I'm taking out of my travel savings that covered that line item in my monthly budget. And then it just comes out of our savings total over here because we've already prepared for that. As far as coming up with your savings goals, I think a good starting place is to think ahead to the end of the year, like how much do I want to have saved this year? Kind of like New Year's resolution style. Like I want to save $10,000 towards X. So then you would divide that by 12 and then plug in the numbers here and evaluate if that's realistic for you or not. You might need to shrink down on those savings goals and make the original amount a bit more of a long-term goal because yeah, just being realistic with all of this is key. Finally getting to what is like the most beneficial, which is my monthly spreadsheet here. There are rows missing here just because I tweaked this to be like generic. So mine normally fills all of these lines, but that's the reason for like the gaps some places. The first thing you need to do is come up with your fixed costs for the month. This is gonna take some time. If you don't have the time to really go in depth on this and do it 100% accurately for your first month, I think just getting to a starting place is like good enough so you can just think of off the top of your head and you can fill those in here in this blue section is basically accounting for all of our fixed costs. So things like maybe your rent or your mortgage, all of your utility payments, if you have a car payment, your car insurance, any subscriptions that you have. Those are kind of your categories to think about. But if you have the time and really want to commit to this, what I actually recommend would be going through all of your credit card statements and spending for the past 30 days and creating like filling in a budget spreadsheet, even though that is obviously in the past, just to get an idea of what am I already spending, as well as making sure you're not overlooking any of your fixed costs. So that's kind of up to you. But once you have filled in all of your fixed costs, this cell right here will populate to come up with all of those. And we're gonna go back to our master sheet, fill in that amount here, and then we will be able to see how much discretionary spending we have in our budget for the month. So that is everything like groceries, basically any amounts that are really going to fluctuate. I mean, utilities definitely fluctuate. I kind of just keep estimates as placeholders in here. But then as I go through during the month, and let's say, you know, I got my water bill on, well, Christmas Day, okay, on this day, and it was actually $50. I'm gonna fill that in there. It's gonna automatically update in this tab, and then that will update here as well. But let's say we're not doing that. So we have our discretionary amount. You're then in this box right here going to fill in any of your discretionary categories. These are all 0 because I haven't logged any spending yet for this month. But over here, I've filled in just general estimates or kind of like goal amounts that are never going to be exact with what you're actually spending. But all of these add up to be our amount of our discretionary spending. So this is like a good general area to shoot for. Of course, if you're spending more on one category, then one category is going to need to go down, or else you're overspending for that month, and that's going to need to come out of savings. So finally, to our actual tracking purchases. I track every single purchase, whether it's through my checking account, my credit card, also things like your Apple Wallet and just payments to friends or Venmo. Those I think are easy to forget about. So let's pretend today is December 1st. Ignore that I just realized this says October. December. So I put the date, and then I write in this category where this payment is coming from. Most things on my sheet end up being from my credit card. Let's say I spent at Amazon $25 on something for Mia, our new puppy. So the category is going to be puppy costs right here. I use this tab as we go down to add any additional information about it. So if it's something like Postmates or Amazon or whatever, I can fill in just like more specifically what it was that I ordered, so that when I reflect at the end of the month, I can even have takeaways like, okay, when we order Postmates from this place, we are consistently spending $20 more than when we order at this place. Maybe it's a good idea to order at the other place if we're gonna Postmate, you know? So I sometimes will use this tab for any additional info. But as you can see, in our puppy cost category over here, this is now at 25. So all of these cells will auto-populate based on your category. So if you're not filling in your category, but you're tracking your spending, this is not getting added over here and being factored into your budget at all. So that is something you want to definitely pay attention to. Obviously, your categories might not be exactly the same as mine. This is the formatting that you're just gonna tweak for any of your categories. So for business, I did not update business for some reason. Basically, this word right here and this formula is what you're changing based on your category name. So you can change this formula to match any categories that you have. And basically, I just go through and every day I come in here and track all of my purchases. And so at the end of the month, as you can imagine, you'll have a very long, detailed list of purchases here. and all of your amounts will be filled in here. And so you can see as you're logging throughout the month, there's a cell here of what you've spent so far, and then this amount, how much is left for the whole month. Another thing I like to do, because it is kind of hard sometimes to think ahead, is down here I have a little planned expenses section. So if I know that I'm going out of town and I'm gonna be spending a ton of money out to eat, I'm gonna be spending a lot more money than usual on Uber, or like I know I have a dinner with friends, so I have, you know, Adrian's birthday dinner, and I'm guessing that I'm gonna spend that, you know, maybe I'm buying her meal, I'm dropping some money, I'm spending 150 on that. I'm gonna go ahead and write here the category this is going in, which is meals out. And then that's gonna go ahead and factor that amount in here as if we've already spent it, so that we can see what we still have remaining for the month. So I just think any expenses that I know are coming, I will just put a general estimate here. That way I can really see what I might have left over for any kind of other spending. I really cannot stress enough that your budget is only useful to the point that you're paying attention to it. So I think as you're starting out, I would recommend going in here and updating your spending every day or every couple of days. Once you get the hang of it, maybe go in every week. But like the longer stretches, speaking for myself, the longer stretches that I go without updating it, I start to get back into the mindset as if I have no budget. Really keeping track of this, especially in the beginning, is going to keep you the most accountable to actually spending within your means. And that's kind of it for this spreadsheet. So again, I already said this, but maybe it'll make a bit more sense now. But like, let's say I'm buying a flight, it was $200, and I'm actually gonna take that instead of it being a charge out of my month this month, which sometimes I'll be like, okay, there's money in the budget this month, I'm just gonna put my travel costs under like my general discretionary spending. But let's say I have a flight and I want it to come out of my travel savings. Then for this month, let's pretend this is December. My months are obviously not accurate. Then I would just put in here for the month of January, I'll just create, you know, a new tab whenever I need to take something out for a given month. That then is accounted for in my savings categories that are already in my bank account. And I'm not gonna put the category here. Or you could maybe put a category that does not have a name here, because like if I put travel, then it's gonna update here and take it out of my month, and then we're kind of like double factoring that into our budget, you know, like double paying for it in a tracking sense. So we don't want to keep that deducted in two different places. So that's an optional tool. If you don't want to track your savings like this, you don't want to do anything like that, you know, do you. And then when I get to the end of a month, I did just want to share a couple of other financial tools that Giselle and I use. The first one would be a shared income and savings sheet that Giselle and I have. So obviously my income is not exactly the same month to month doing social media. Giselle works in sales, so her commission varies. Both of us, like, the numbers are always different. We each put our income after taxes, and the next tab we fill in what each of us spent that month to see what we saved that month. So of course I'm saving to those specific categories, that should be factored in here. But if I spent below my discretionary spending in a given month, then this number would be even higher, or maybe I went over, so this number would be even lower. And then we can just see, you know, net this year, we have collectively saved this amount. So that is useful for us. As well as, I think tracking your utilities is a really great financial idea, especially like year to year. For example, let's say it's July. I can look back at the year before how much I spent on my power bill in July, given that I'm running the AC all the time. That's going to be higher than the average month. So I can go ahead and plan ahead that I need to allocate more money towards that utility bill, which is going to leave less money in my discretionary spending for that month, if that makes sense. Really, just like with anything, finance-wise, knowledge is power. Like, you don't gain anything by just like turning a blind eye to your spending, even to the extent of, I like having a spreadsheet for tracking all costs related to our house and like buying our house and like all of the money we have put into this house. I think that's useful as well. Like when you know, go to resell the house, you don't have to try to remember all the upgrades you made. Or like with Mia, we just got our puppy, of course. I've been tracking every single thing we spent on her. And I like doing that again, just to be informed, but also to inform my decisions for the future. So like, I mean, this isn't happening, but Giselle and I turn around here in a few years and we're like, oh, let's get another dog. It'll be super useful to be able to see, okay, how much has our other dog actually cost us over the past, you know, 3 years only, and that's not even a long amount of time, but like, are we ready and can we allocate this amount to another dog? Is that like what we want to spend this money on, or like, do we need to spend this somewhere else? So those are just examples. I'm just such a spreadsheet girl. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place in explaining this just because I've never, you know, had to explain it to anyone before. Giselle and I are currently reviewing what we saved for this year as we establish our savings goals going into 2024. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I don't know if this even even like made sense, if this was helpful, the spreadsheet again will be below. I have not gone into obviously every detail of where I invest and where I save and things like that, but this is just like purely how I budget and how I track all of my income and spending. So I just thought, what better time than going into the new year? If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them in the comments. I'm gonna be back very soon with my reset for 2024 and just talking goals and everything like that going into the new year. I hope all of you guys are having a great holiday week, and I will see you in my next video.